Honda sees those virtues as reasons to bet on fuel cells which combine hydrogen and oxygen in a chemical process to generate electricity, winning a fraction of the future of the car, even as much of the auto industry has increasingly focused on battery electric power. Honda introduced the Clarity in October 2016 as a fuel cell-only model. It now also comes in battery electric and plug-in hybrid models, one of which is my colleague David Pogue's daily driver. The successor to its earlier, boxier FCX is a 4-door, 5-passenger sedan that leases for $369 a month from a dozen Honda dealerships in Northern and Southern California. Honda says more than 1,000 are on the road. It's easy to miss the burgundy fuel cell badges, and under the hood the plain top of the fuel cell stack doesn't scream space program power source here. The trunk, however, is a lot smaller, thanks to the space taken up by the larger of two cylindrical hydrogen tanks. Over an hour and 15 minutes on highways and streets from Los Angeles International Airport to Union Station downtown, during which we literally drove past rows of oil rigs. Thanks to our trip taking us through Culver City's Inglewood oil field, the Clarity handled like an electric car. That's because it is, except its electricity comes from a fuel cell, not a battery. Its electric motor provided the same instant torque and quick starts out of stoplights, and it made the same quiet whir on the road. Alas, LA traffic prevented me from getting much enjoyment out of its sport mode. But at least the Clarity's fuel economy remained excellent. The lowest figure I noticed was 56.8 miles/kilogram, which translates to 57 mpg, or twice what a gas-powered Accord could manage, and we got into the 60s for a bit. With the dashboard indicating 190 miles of range left of an EPA estimated 366 total, we didn't need to refuel, but I had to try it anyway. The Clarity's navigation system includes a shortcut to locate hydrogen stations. The California Fuel Cell Partnership site lists a total of 35 in the state, built with some $27 million in state grants, and one was less than 2 miles from LAX. After a few minutes of hearing hissing and the occasional click, it beeped to say we were done. Before anybody wants to mention the flaming demise of the hydrogen-filled Hindenburg Zeppelin, the fueling system is designed to shut off the instant it detects a leak, while the car incorporates its own array of fail-safes. And let's not forget that gasoline burns 2 and 4 longer. That represents an enormous advantage over battery electric vehicles. The growing network of supercharger stations Tesla, TSLA, maintains, for instance, need 30 minutes to provide 170 miles of range. You might as well have lunch in the meantime, while a hydrogen refill barely allows time for coffee. Honda includes $15,000 worth of hydrogen refueling in the Clarity lease, but I couldn't resist Honda fuel cell marketing manager Stephen Ellis's invitation to put a hydrogen purchase on my expenses. The result, kilogram of hydrogen cost the rough equivalent of $16 a gallon of gas, or $8 if you factor in hydrogen being about twice as efficient as gas. That's still nearly twice the going rate for gas here. As we completed the fueling, another fuel cell car pulled up behind us, a Toyota Mirai with tinted windows and H20DRVN license plates. Southern California, don't ever change. Toyota, trademark, with 3,000 Mirai sales in California as of January, has been the other big backer of fuel cell technology, while much of the rest of the industry has fixed on battery technology. Tesla founder Elon Musk has called fuel cells silly and dumb, and even optimistic sales projections call for fuel cell sales to constitute a fraction of battery electric sales. But the range limit and recharge time issues of batteries aren't easy problems to solve, nor is poor battery performance in cold weather. And GM thinks enough of fuel cell prospects to announce a partnership with Honda last January to produce fuel cells. Fuel cells almost certainly won't see the prominence that once led President George W. Bush to tout the promise of a hydrogen-generated automobile in a 2004 campaign debate, but the transportation industry has too much room to count out the technology just yet. And while fuel cells face some considerable obstacles, let's not forget that a lot of people used to say hybrid cars couldn't compete with gasoline vehicles. More from Rob, email rob@, follow him on Twitter at @RobGuerrero.